Alright guys, more info of why modern day Spanish people are not Maya people, not Assyrian people, Nahuatl people. Okay, look at the Saste War of Caste War of Yucatan in 1847. Location: Yucatan Peninsula. Maya people involved, our people. Land rights, autonomy, anti-discrimination. That was the cause. The outcome: partial autonomy, heavy losses. The Mixton War of, or you got the Yucatan War, which was 19. Oh, that goes from 1847 to 1901. In the Yucatan Peninsula. God damn. The Mixton War, is 1540. To 1542, Western Mexico. Nahua Spanish conquest suppressed but fierce resistant. Spanish conquest resistance. The Caxcan, the Chichimeca, 1550 to 1590, northern Mexico. Chichimeca tribes defend territory from Spanish mining. Peace treaties after long conflict. The Pueblo Revolt of 1680, New Mexico. Pueblo Baruch. Pueblo people's Spanish oppression and forced labor and temporary expulsion of Spanish. The Natchez Rebellion, 1729 through 1731 in Mississippi. Natchez people, French colonial expansion and brutal suppression. Seminole Wars of 1817 through 1858 in Florida. Seminole U.S. removal policies and Seminole maintained resistance. Now when you also check into the Cherokee Wars, Chickamauga Wars, so on and so forth, these are things that they don't teach you in public schools, and so on and so forth, right? But you see how it said Mississippi, it said Florida, it said New Mexico, right? Well, Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and Arizona are part of what they call New Mexico, right? So we're still on sacred land. Not only that, but you see the Maya, right? Maya and Nahua, right? Nahuatl is one of the Maya tongue, right? Olmec, the rubber people of Assyria, Asotak, you know what I'm saying? Azteca. We are one of the same tree and branch, right? This is part of our speech, Nahuatl. Okay, so we know that the Seminole they're not pale, they're not albino, right? But that's just more evidence and more proof of wars that was going on. You know what I'm saying? That were suppressed and was withheld. You know what I'm saying? They Natchez Rebellion 1729 to 1731. The Natchez people in Mississippi resisted French colonial expansion. Okay. The Seminole Wars 1817 to 1858. Seminole in Florida resisted U.S. attempts to remove them. USA Inc. is not America. It's not Tomorrowland. Okay, it's not. So no, a rebellion in the typical military sense, but the Popol Vuh, Maya sacred book, represents cultural and spiritual resistance. Maya maintained their spiritual and cultural or hereditary identity through oral tradition, ritual, and hidden practices under colonial rule. Azteca revolts were not cursed. Baruch conquest after the fall of Tenochtitlan, 1521. Many smaller Azteca communities, revolted against Spanish rule intermittently. Notable in a Mixton War mentioned above included many former Aztec warriors. These rebellions were often suppressed brutally, but inspired ongoing resistance. So you hear that, right? Why did they feel like they needed to hide that? You know You know what I'm saying? Why did they feel like they needed to hide that? The indigenous, native, you know what I'm saying, indigenous rebellions, northern, you know what I'm saying, Shishimeka wars in 1550 to 1590, northern indigenous rebellions, who various nomadic and semi-nomadic groups known collectively, or not that, were Baruch as the Shishimeka. Why? Defending territory against Spanish incursions during silver mining expansions. Okay, what happened? We prolonged warfare marked by raids, ambushes, and scorched earth tactics. Right, especially this Baruch Mamutuhenu paid. The Spanish negotiated peace treaties, but only after decades of conflict. We're not cursed. You know what I'm saying? Demonstrates indigenous resilience in harsh desert environments. So these are things that they're not going to teach you on Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about red nigga naga, rojo nigga naga? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call it that, rojo nigga naga. You know what I'm saying? Talatawani Tamaraland. You know what I'm saying? Tamaruahan. You know what I'm saying? Baruch Yahuwah. So since they don't speak about these things, this is why we have people like us who do. So next time, War 1540 to 1542, Kumkumutu, Nahua and Kakskan rebellion, Nahua and Kakskan people in present day Western Mexico. Why resistance to Spanish conquest, forced conversion to Christianity, I said Christianity, and exploitation. What happened? Indigenous coalition led by a war chief named Temzamasul resisted Spanish forces. And that's why today, you know what I'm saying, dealing with ICE, they talk about, going against brown people and blah 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 blah. This not your land. That's partially the hand of the Most High Yah getting these strangers up off our land. You know what I'm saying? Allah Yahuwah. Baruch Yahuwah. The Maya people and the Yucatan Peninsula against Mexican authorities. The shots they wore of Yucatan in 1847-1901, the Maya Rebellion. You see what I'm saying? Long-standing grievances over the land's disposition, forced labor, heavy taxation, and discrimination against the Maya. Desire to reclaim autonomy and traditional rights. Baruch Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? And we still doing the same thing today. What happened? Maya formed armies, besieged towns, and created autonomous territories. The war lasted over 50 years, with periods of intense fighting and uneasy peace. In fact, one of the longest indigenous rebellions in the Americas led to the significant loss of life and reshaped land ownership patterns. Maya heritage and autonomy was suppressed, but also preserved underground. Okay, now this is why, you know what I'm saying, I'll be talking about the dumbs and stuff like that, because this is our highway systems, right? A portion of it. This is our land. We have every right to go with there. You know what I'm saying? We have every right to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't they just don't fucking get it. You know what I'm saying? Hidden wars and rebellions. Baruch my heart to Baruch my family, Father. I Baruch you. Saste War, Maya, Mixtan War, Aztec, and Shishimeka Wars, indigenous guerrilla resistance. Guerrilla. Sounds like motherfucking Tarzan. Guerrilla. Where the gorillas at? Beatuk, Taino, Toltecs, and Zinca. You know what I'm saying? Or Inca. Lost Maya subtribes. From root meaning to cross over. Associated with ancient nomadic peoples of Levant. Don't the Tau represent a crossing over to the Tau, the X-Man, Man X? Or Baruch, not cursed. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew name origin. You know what I'm saying? They say we're extinct. You're looking at a Taino. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at a Maya. You're looking at a connection to the Zinca. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual and traditional traditions, or hereditary traditions in Maya, Aztec, and other indigenous groups to Hebrew ancestry. Baruch Yahuwah. Now we know the Anigitawa, Gikitawa, Ani Wi Wa Yu. I think that's how you say it. Cherokee, Mu, You know what I'm saying? Lumorarian. Wow, Lumorarian. We'll look into that. Lumaria, Aryan, Ashur. You know what I'm saying? We are the original Aryan, children of the Orion star constellation. You know what I'm saying? Pleiades, children of the Pleiades, and what they say, the Arcturian, Catur is you don't think Catur, Kate, Kachina, China, Iopan, Asia Superior, Asia Major. You don't think we're part? You don't think that's who we be? The proper Arab or proper Arabai. The term Hebrew, Ivri, is believed to be derived from the root bur, meaning to cross over or to pass through. Bur, eber. You know what I'm saying? It likely referred originally to the people who crossed over the Euphrates River or lived on the other side. Kumkumya or Beirut, now curses, lived on the other side of a border. No more trauma. The Bible and ancient texts identify Hebrews as descendants of Eber, an ancestor of Abraham or Brahma, but historically Hebrews became a collective term for the ancient Israelites. Isis Ra Eliu, the Isis Ra, the Isis light, elites, elete. Yeah, that's how you say it, elete. Isis Ra elete. Israelite. Maybe, I don't know. Isis Ra El, right? So the light, the gods of the light. So it'll be Ku El Isis, or Isis Ku, Isis Nuraku, Isis Nuraku. That shit straight sounds like Morocco, or this is Morocco. Isis Ra, Isis Raku, Isis Ra, Isis Raku, Isis Raku, Isis Ra, Isis Raku, Isis Raku, Isis Ra. Something like that. I don't know what the fuck I said, but I heard Morocco. The Council of Isis, children of the Empire of the Sun, the land of the West, Jibola, the underworld, Arwah, Tamar, Ra, Tamarua, Arua, Amarua, Arua, Tamarua, Khan, Tamarua, the land of the empire of the sun, the kings of the sun, the Naga sun. So Tamarua, Tamarikan, Tamarua Khan, Naga Tamarua Khan. Yeah. Hello Hunab Yahwa. Hello Hawa. Hello Hawaya. You know what I'm saying? Hello Hawaya. Hello. Yeah, Baruch Yahuwah. Tamarakan. You know what I'm saying? Tamaraland, Tamarakan of Tamaraland, Tamarites, Tamarindian, Amorite. You know what I'm saying? Amorite. Tamu, Tamus. You know what I'm saying? Tamar, come on, man. Omar, come on. Mari, children of Maryland, Maryland, Maryland. Hala Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? The term was given externally or internally. Baruch. You know what I'm saying? To describe the nomadic or semi-nomadic. The word semi again. Shemi group distinguished by crossing borders of migration. The word Hebrew is recorded in the ancient Egyptian and Mesopotamian texts, referring to a group of people of the Levant in the Levant region. But we know that Asia Superior, America, Tomorrowland is the old world. This is Nubia. We live in and as we say, Kush, Ku, Sh, Ku. Okay, the land of the gods. You know what I'm saying? The Gods of Egypt movie, right? American Gods. Fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? The children of the Empire of the Sun. Atlantis. Aslan. Aslante. You know what I'm saying? Aslante. So, Baruch Yahuwah. We know that this is the true old world. You know what I'm saying? The land of the Ninja Turtles. The land of the Super Saiyans. The Saiyan race. The monkeys. Or the gorillas. Tarzan. Tanzania, Tarzan, Baruch Yahuwah, the sons of Tara, it may be Tara is Sarah, Baruch Yahuwah, Sarah sons of Sarah. Shout out 432 to drop 432. Baruch Yahuwah. So the built to Canada, completely wiped out by the early 19th century through violence and disease. The Taino in the Caribbean Sea, Arabian, that's Kara, that goes back to Kari, Karab, you know what I'm saying? Ghana. Where do you think they get Ghana from? Ghana, Granada, maybe? Granada, Arabian, Arab, Aryan, it's in the word. Baruch Yahuwah. The Toltecs, once a powerful civilization in Mexico, largely disappeared before the Aztec era through influence of vibes. Now these are the same people. Toltec and Xinca also go into Dinka, the Dinka people, and the Tuaregs and the South Sudanese, and all of Asia, Asia superior, and that is here, North Central South America, including Europe and Canada. Baruch Yahuwah, not that other shit. The Taino, widespread in the Caribbean, now considered extinct as a distinct group through descendants. Bro, every brown, copper skinned people with deeper melody, we're all still here. We never left. The Xinca, Guatemala, nearly extinct with only a handful of speakers left. The Cora, India superior, India major. We live here. Welcome to Cibola. Welcome to the city of Atlantis. Yeah. Hala Yahuwah. Cancel Baruch Yahuwah. A tribal group almost wiped out, but relevant because of some Afro-Ivri traditions link global indigenous groups. Link Afro-Ivri. We've already been here. This is the land of Sham. Shema, your samurai, samurai. You know what I'm saying? Baruch Yahuwah. The city, the tashe, the tashe, the tajeda, tashuta, tajete, tajuda, tayoda, toyoda, Yuda. You know what I'm saying? The mark of the people of the Confederate flag, the X. Come on, bro. Baruch Yahuwah. What do you think? You know what I'm saying? When dealing with Cherokee, I didn't get the Wagi and the Iroquois. We're the same people. That's the town. That's the covenant, bro. That's that Wakanda. No. Baruch Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? Baruch Yahuwah. What you think Chadwick Boseman was actually throwing up? You know what I'm saying? Remember the covenant. Remember. You know what I'm saying? Wakanda forever. That's Lakota. This is Lakota. Wankantanka. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Wakanda. Come on, bro. Baruch Yahuwah. The Maya groups lost pre-conquest. Many small sub-tribes disappeared or merged. Jeremiah 29:11. Baruch Yahuwah. We're Misraim. We are Nubia, Nama, Nami, Namidi, Namibia. You know what I'm saying? Afro-indigenous peoples of Central America. Some claim descent from ancient tribes, including the Ivri. You know what I'm saying? Igbo of Nigeria, not the Americas, but linked through African Hebrew. Well, we know that even the Igbo, Ikuwa, Yoruba, and Yoruba, they do have connections to the Berber. You know what I'm saying? At Burr. They do have connections to the Caribs. You know what I'm saying? They do have relations to the Tuareg. You know what I'm saying? To the Sudanese, the Arabs. These are the Arabian empires, right? This is where you get Pirates of the Caribbean and the Curse of the Black Pearl, as they say. And they had the one deep melanated lady in there who was supposed to be a witch. You know what I'm saying? Which actually represented one of the shaman and a prophetess. You know what I'm saying? Warning these motherfuckers about what they was doing was wrong, and so on and so forth, and trying to warn the foreigner of this, that, and the third. The Tlaxcaltec resistance, while allied with the Spanish initially, the Tlaxcaltec people later resisted Spanish abuses and sought to pretty much get back their autonomy. Baruch Yahuwah. So fucked up, bro. Lenca, indigenous groups in Honduras and El Salvador, with some oral traditions connecting or relating them to the Israelite ancestors. Garifuna, Afro-indigenous people of Central Tamariland, Baruch Yahuwah, some Baruch Mutu, relate descent from ancient tribes, including the Hebrews, Igbo of Nigeria. Okay, so on and so forth. What we gonna do there? Yeah, I'm getting attacked while trying to fucking speak, bro. This shit is fucking annoying as hell. Noi Beten, 1697. Major Maya city states. This is both Spanish, Portuguese, and all them fucked up ass motherfucking weirdos and shit. That's why somebody keep talking about, you know, they're Maya and they looking like Spanish. Nah, you not. No, Baruch Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? You not. You do. That's all kind of bullshit. The Washoe tribe of Nevada and California, Calife, filed as class action lawsuit against the U.S. government for its role in these schools. We ain't talking about the $5 Indians because they don't count. You know what I'm saying? Dawes Commission, Doctrine of Discovery, Papa Bulls, all that shit, they don't count. The Pequot War of 1636, 1637 conflict of Connecticut leading to the near destruction of the Pequot tribe. King Philip's War, 1675 and 1676, a widespread conflict in New England resulting in significant native casualties and displacement. Baruch Yahuwah. Pueblo Revolt in 1680, successful uprising by Pueblo Indians opposed to the Spanish colonizers in present-day New Mexico. Sand Creek Massacre, 1864, Colorado militia attacked a peaceful, village of Cheyenne and Arapaho, taking out 150 Native Americans, mostly women and children. That's fucked up. Wounded Knee Massacre of 1890, U.S. Army forces to take out approximately 150 to 300 Lakota Sioux at Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota. This is our people, bro. This is the copper races. This is the red naga. This is the red nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is Rojo Kun. This is Yahuwah's greater though. You know what I'm saying? I say take out. They just did all these motherfucking massacres. The Young Toket Massacre, 1853. affected tribe at Tolowa caused retaliation opposed to the settlers. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully fucking so, bro. Yantoke. 450 to 500 Tolowa people were taken out in the village of Yantoke, California, by Baruch Yahuwah. That's fucked up. The California genocide of 1846 to 1873, bro, caused the state-sanctioned violence during and after the gold rush. That goes into you ever seen the road to El Dorado? You know what I'm saying? How they trying to find the city of gold and what's the fuck his name? Cortez and all that bullshit. They said 9,492 to 16,094. Damn, indigenous Californians were taken out at these massacres. Forced labor displacement. Shut it down, y'all. The state's policies and militias played a significant role in these atrocities. Dog! These niggas was the Potawatomi tribe. Baruch Yahuwah. They're rebuked. Look, everything that keeps trying to rebuke Yahuwah through my energy, bitch, you're rebuked in Yahuwah's name. And y'all rebuked and put to shame. Release your judgment upon them even stronger, y'all. Ain't even pay and touch them. I'm doing right, not wrong. The Trail of Death, they say, in 1838. So who moved to the Potawatomi, the forced removal by U.S. militia impact in 1838. About 859 Potawatomi were forcibly removed from Indiana to Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Over the 61-day to 666-mile journey, more than 400 individuals, primarily children. Damn, bro. They died because due to harsh conditions. It sounded like the motherfucking Trail of Tears. Baruch Yahuwah. Indian Removal Act of 1830 signed by the President Andrew Jackson. Approximately 60,000, my nigga. 60,000? Bro, 60,000 plus 9,492 people. That's 69,492 people thus. And that's indigenous people were forcibly relocated from their cut them down, put them to shame, reverse, cancel, release your wrath opposed him, Baruch Yahuwah, from their ancestral homelands in the southeastern United States. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrowland to designated Indian Territory, Amerindian Territory west of the Mississippi River. Baruch Yahuwah. The journey was marked by disease, starvation, and exposure, leading to the deaths of an estimated 13,200 to 16,700 people, bro. This is unnecessary. This is the major events of forced removal and genocide. Trail of Tears, 1830 to 1850. The Cherokee, Ani, you know what I'm saying? Muskogee Creek, Seminole, Ani, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Ani. You know what I'm saying? This is fucking crazy, bro. Baruch Yahuwah. The history of indigenous peoples of the Tomorrowland, you know what I'm saying, is etched in by the series of forced removals, genocides, and systematic efforts to erase their heritage and identity. Psalm 83. You know what I'm saying? Israel is my anointed. Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Why you think it says Israel? Nigga, this is all Mizraim, bro. This is all here. Baruch Yahuwah. Why they say it in Africa? Because that's partly a stolen heritage. Pan-Africanism. Out of Africa theory. Baruch Yahuwah. Baruch Mumutu. This is nuts, bro. How this connects to the vaults, the doctrine of discovery. The way they try to dismantle, take us away or take away the connection, the scattering, the commerce of souls, division, broken titles, and resistance. Slave trade and diaspora roots, corporate character systems, Berlin Conference and U.S. Indian policies, land acts, allotments and concentration camps, and anti-colonial uprisings, truth and reconciliation work. Now check this out, right? Now when we talking about the whole Noble Drew Ali thing, this is where I got a problem with that, because we know that many Moors betrayed their own people. That's how you got the creation of USA Inc. Right? This you got the treaties, peace and friendship of U.S. Morocco relations. That's Moor. This is their invention. You see what I'm saying? So when you working with they working with the Spanish, they working with the Italians, they working with the Germans, they working with some of the Prussians. You know what I'm saying? The Rus. They working with some of the Baruch Yahuwah. That's not even me. They working with many of the Berbers who became sea pirates. You know what I'm saying? Phoenicians are seafarers. Uniform commercial code, marine and maritime admiralty jurisdiction. These motherfuckers betrayed their own people. That's how you got the so-called Illuminati today. That's the Society of Esau, the Jesuit order, the Esauian order. You know what I'm saying? The serpent, the Brotherhood of the Serpent. The J in Maya represents the serpent. Okay, and Islam, where you get Ishmael, Baruch Yahuwah. And both of those religions today are completely perverted and out of line. You know what I'm saying? The fake Hazarians, over there in 1948, CIA created land. You know what I'm saying? Those are not Israel. They say one thing, but they're talking about us. They're like 42. We call them the COVID ones. Them motherfuckers, the sleeper ones, the sleeper zones. You know what I'm saying? Biological and environmental warfare, deliberate or negligent indoctrination or introduction of disease, destruction in food systems, psychological re-education, mission schools, boarding schools, banning of languages. These are Tignon laws. This is all in the Tignon laws. Record and erasure, false census categories, $5 Indians, altered maps and archives, cultural appropriation, sacred symbols commercialized, and histories rewritten. Now you can go to UBTV and learn a lot about it. I wrote Yahuwah. You can learn something from Dan Calloway and from Kurimeo Ahu. You know what I'm saying? Doctrine of Discovery and Terra Nullius, set up Satan. Legal language claiming non-Christian lands were ownerless. Forced labor and resource extraction, slavery, mining, plantations, and later corporate. So, is Israel a homeborn slave, or Israel became a slave on his own land and what they call a prisoner of war at one point in time, right? Namibia 1904, Namibia and Herero, you know what I'm saying, the German Empire, concentration camps at Shark Island, mass deportations, forced marches into deserts, mass executions they did, industrialized genocide using camps, gas chambers, medical experiments, including the Russian sleep experiments, legalized racial segregation, forced relocations, mass murders they did, reversing cancel state uprisings, Sharpeville 1960, Soweto 1976, coordinated genocides using radio orders, local weapons, about 800,000 dead, nigga, 60, Baruch Yahuwah, 860,000, 869,000, nigga. We counting. This is fucking crazy. Slow violence via loss of land, suppression of language, under representation in law, and targeted policing, targeted individual programming. Extermination order, desert expulsions, poisoned wells, concentration camps at Shark Island, bro. Dog. Fuck 40 acres and a mule, bro. Baruch Yahuwah. They said rubber extraction systems. You can't have rubber without the Nahuatls, without the Maya Azteca, because that's Olmec means rubber people. That's the definition of rubber, of Olmec, rubber people. To enforce quotas, 10 million estimated deaths. Baruch Yahuwah, bro. Starvation, poison, deliberate spread of smallpox. These niggas is fucking crazy, bro. Fuck these niggas. 1490s Caribbean and Spanish crown conquistadors, Baruch Yahuwah. 1600 Mesoamerica Taino under Columbus Cortez, nigga. Arawak Maya Aztec Pizarro. You know what I'm saying? 1600s North America, many English, French, later U.S. 1800s indigenous nations, colonial militias. This is the times of these things, right? The 1884 Congo Free State private army under Belgium's mutilations and hostage taking to enforce quotas of 10 million estimated deaths. Bro, this is fucking crazy. 1809 or 1908 Congolese People's King Leopold II. 1904 Namibia, Herero and German Empire. 1908 the Nama peoples and General Lothar von Trotha. They say Ottoman Empire. 1915 to 1923 Armenians, Assyrians, Ottoman government and Greeks and military units. See, this is where the Moors come in. Baruch Yahuwah, not rebuke. You know what I'm saying? This is where the Moors come in, the ones that betrayed the covenant of the Most High Yah. That's the Ottoman Empire. Armenians and Assyrians are Caribbean people. This is Tuareg. These are part Aztec and Maya people. You know what I'm saying? These are Tartarian. These are some of Sumerian and Lemurian peoples. You know what I'm saying? This is like the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? Rome, Romanus. These are brown skinned peoples that renamed us, bro. You gotta keep this in mind. You know what I'm saying? Along with the pale skin. Europe, Jews, Roma. (1933) Slavs, Afrikaans. 1948 political religious dissenters in Nazi Germany. And newsflash, Slavs aren't pale, never were. That's through tribal integration and mutations and forced sex camps and shit like that and all kind of shit that they was doing. Baruch Yahuwah, during the Arab slave trade, which goes into this, the Arabian slave trade and Sub-Saharan slave trade and stuff like that. Sahara, Sarah and Haran. Come on, man. Baruch Yahuwah. Put him to shame, y'all. 1948 South and Southern Africa, apartheid era South African. In 1994 Black South Africans government. This is all Arabian. This is all going into the same peoples I've been talking about, especially in the Central America pieces. Baruch Yahuwah, pre-Pangea and after Pangea. Baruch Yahuwah. 1994 Rwanda, Tutsi and moderate Hutu. You know what I'm saying? The Interahamwe militias backed by extremist Hutu government. Present era global indigenous and African descendant peoples, various states through displacement, environmental poisoning and land seizure. So you see all of this shit, right? You hear this shit. You get to see the people who betrayed their own. They betrayed their own peoples, their own kinfolk. All kinfolk ain't skinfolk, and you wonder why they say black on black crime. They're talking about all black lives matter, and you see how it was led by black witches. You know what I'm saying? That were there to help induce and amplify the remembrance of trauma. That's trauma programming. That's MK Ultra trauma programming. Baruch Yahuwah. This will give you a complete blueprint for teaching and reclaiming Yahuwah's heritage. When I asked it, you know what I'm saying, show me how or who played roles in the genocides and how they was doing it. He said, I can give you verifiable historical accounts of who organized or carried out genocides and how they were implemented, but you know what I'm saying, keep the focus on documented governments, armies, and colonial systems. You know what I'm saying? So it just really explained everything that it tried not to explain, whether it wanted it to or not. Because when you go back and you do your studies, you can see this. Everybody that's learning about this stuff can see this. You know what I'm saying? I rise in the path of Yahuwah, Allah Yahuwah. Look at this. Das Rose Act. Das Act and Rolls. Historical Act Vol. 6 of the broken titles. Herero and Nama Genocide. Baruch Yahuwah. Bet a lot of people don't even know that. You know what I'm saying? The Nama and the Herero were over here. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. They were found in California along with Diana. You know what's funny? My sister's name is Yana. Lanyana. Motherfucker. One of my brother's name is Jordan. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Baruch Yahuwah. Baruch Yahuwah. This is not a fucking game, bro. This historical acts, Haitian Revolution, 1799, Maroon settlements, intellectual resistance, sacred meaning, conscious awakens chains of misrepresentation are broken. No chains left. Exercise immediate. Meditate on revolts. Trace sacred geometry. Chant. Knowledge awakens. Chains fall from the mind. Baruch Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? This. They tell you how they trafficking people and souls in the book of Revelation 17 through 21 or 22. You know what I'm saying? That's Esau, bro. It's all Esau. Esau ain't coming back to save you. Esau was killed in the field by a motherfucking arrow, and I think it was his own son who done it. Because he thought Esau was a beast. Yeah, go check that out. Go check that out in the Apocryphal. You know what I'm saying? Go check that out. The war, I think this goes into the wars of the Maccabees, the book of Yashar, and so on. East Indian Trading Company and transatlantic slave trade, all that stuff. The conquest of the Papal Bulls Romanus Pontifex Inter Catera 1455 through 1493, Spain and Portugal conquest. And even though the Spaniards were swarthy. Purpose: restore knowledge of Tartarian, Atlantean, Lemurian, and Sumerian heritage. In unrighteousness, truth cannot be reconciled. You know what I'm saying? So we'll continue on that a little bit later. Baruch Yahuwah.